Hi everybody, and thank you for joining me in today's video where I'm going to dive into MPC 3 as a classic MPC 2 user with little to no knowledge as to how things have changed here. I just want to play around a bit, nothing too serious, and hope we enjoy our time together. So to get things kind of started, I want to first record a little piano doodle that I've been messing around with. So I'm going to create a new track, which is down here now, new track, and I'm going to do a plugin. The graphics are pretty nice. I'm actually liking that. For the first time, I feel that this thing is actually taking advantage of its full color screen, because like before it was like just grayscale. So let's go into piano. I have the Arturia Polybrute over here as a MIDI controller, which is sacrilege. I do have to say, out of all the new MPC Akai plugins, the stage piano is just one of my favorites. Please bear with me. I can only use one finger out of this and I won't be able to move around much, so this arm is pretty much just gonna be laying down the bass in this thing. So okay, so now that I have my main melody in there, I'm gonna go back into my number one plugin. I don't want to waste much time on this, so I'm just going to use the default track. Let's duplicate this and copy sequence into another one, sequence 2. I'm going to name that sequence 2 over here. I'm going to be finger drumming with just this hand, so let's see what comes up. One of the things that I find really cool about MPC 3 is that you don't depend that much on buttons, which, well, I'm in no shortage using my MPCX, but for example on the MPC 1 or on the MPC Live, I really find it very comfortable that you can just double click, for example, on this wave shape, and you're in the sample editor, which is very convenient. I don't know of anything else that's just so quick. Also, you can just flip between the track mode and the arrangement mode, and once again, just double click, and you're in the arrangement or in the MIDI grid. Here's the thing, if I go into arranger mode and I see sequence 2, I have this. So I have track 1 and I have track 2, right? But if I go back into sequence 1, then arranger just shows me I have nothing here for sequence 1, which makes sense in the MPC philosophy, but I'm not sure if later on maybe I can record or live record into the arranger as sequence 1, for example, one loop, and then I can switch in the main mode into sequence 2 while the arranger is still recording, kind of like what you do in Ableton. Not sure if that's possible. Maybe I haven't seen how to do that yet, but let's try to work within the confines of this new philosophy. So in sequence 2, I'm just going to start making more loops and building on top of this. If you're wondering what my workspace here is today, I'm using the new Analog Cases XTS stands. These things are very, very cool. They're lightweight. They're just one big panel. They adjust to a regular piano X-type stand, sorry. And they have these little grooves here that, you can slide your cables down on. So this thing is very, very performance ready, and I'm very happy with it. I've been using Analog Cases products for years, and I really love their new line of products. They're really performance oriented. The backpack is probably my favorite one I've ever had, and it actually can take my Push 3, which is a big deal because like none of my other backpacks could fit that thing in there. If you're interested in buying one of their products, definitely check out my affiliate links down below, and with my code you can get a discount on any of your purchases, so please enjoy. Anyway, back to the video. What I'm really finding very, very, fluid out of this is that everything is just here on the front panel. Like if I want the effects, I just click over here, and here I have my effects, or here are my levels. And if I want to go deeper into the effects, I can just click this and boom, I have my effects page. And I can even modify what order they're in, which is a godsend, because before you had to just delete the whole thing and start over. You can also, of course, save these racks. And another cool thing is that you have some preset racks. So if you go into here, you can go into factory presets, and you'll actually find drums and percussion, voice, and you have whole racks of effects just ready to go. And that's, what more can you ask for? How about some Jura? Jura always fits. Like if I'm using the MPC nowadays, it's like I will use Jura. So let's do another new track. It'll ask me a new plugin. Beautiful icons, nice. Everything's here on the front panel. If I just click on the icon, it'll take me to the plugin, and I can just switcheroo this thing over here. So stage piano, no thank you. I'm gonna go into Jura. And now let's find something. I want like a thumpy bass here. So I'm gonna go into bass thump, obviously. Percussive thump. Ooh, that's nice. Killer. Let's record. So I'm going to go into arrangement, and if I click over here, I get my MIDI clip, right? And if I go into arrange, I get all my tracks. And I can also access or quickly access my MIDI clip over here. Now, one thing that I found very interesting is that it used to feel that the MPC was like a bunch of machines just smushed in together. And now it kind of feels a bit more cohesive. And I think that the best example of that is that now I can add an audio track directly in here. It used to be that there were separate things, like you'd have MIDI tracks on one side and audio tracks on another, and they would like never coexist. They'd be like two independent lanes. But now it's all here. And what I also really appreciate is that I can add tracks directly on the arranger. That's very, very cool. So I'm gonna go into my audio track. Kind of want something that gives it a bit of a rising effect. Yeah, that's interesting. Okay, so I feel that it's clipping way too much, so we're gonna go into my new mixer channel. Yeah, and my drums are all over the place. Okay, that's better. Also, I think my metronome is still on. Okay, that's better. Okay, so I'm supposed to be able to just double click this, and now I'm in the audio editor, which is awesome, because as I said before, it used to be that it was like two different machines. But if I go into arranger mode, my audio is right there. It's a little bit of a shaker kind of, right? So I'm gonna go back into my default kit, and I'm just gonna, there we go, duplicate track. Okay, so I duplicated my track, which I think I can also do if I just click on this little plus button, and same thing. Now, thanks to the wonders of technology, I'm going to put Shift Latch and, ooh, nice. Nice. So let's record that in. What I think I want to try to do now is see how the arrangement thing would go. So this is looking pretty nice. And I've said this before, I think that now more than ever, the full knobs, the 16 Q links on the MPC-X are going to come real handy, especially once I figure out how to assign the macros, which is something I'm really looking forward to. But I think that the way that you're supposed to do this now is that you go into Edit and you go double length, and you go into double length again, and now I have 32 bars. So I'm gonna zoom this out a bit. So the way that I'm guessing you work with this is that in these 32 bars, you can start adding or editing and basically build up your song in this view. So if I go into my Q links, I can just adjust the loop point Okay, so apparently the only way I can control my loop position is still using my finger. And as I understand it, if I'm here, and for example, I have one of my tracks selected, I can go into edit, and if I press erase, yeah, that's really useful. So I can erase parts of my tracks without affecting, the entirety of the loop or the audio file. So I wonder if I can do like a small fade out here. Okay, so I can go here, and if I double click, nope. Can nudge, edit start, edit end. If I shift this, clear auto. Now, I'm still learning this, so maybe this is something that you can do, but it would be very useful to have a little fade out thingy here. Let's see, automation, volume. I really should buy one of those Bluetooth pens or whatever. Let's see if it works now. Okay, so let me solo this so you can listen to what I'm doing. Is that working? Let's see. So the automation should. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Okay, so on this other end, I should be able to automate the entrance of the audio once again. Automate all the things. Let's see if I zoom in here. Nice. Okay, that's cool. So let's unsolo this and see how this thing goes. My volume is going up and down. I should have another camera here. Yeah. Note to self, invest in a roof side camera. Okay, but things are working. Things are working, and they're working nicely. So far, I'm really impressed with how easy the transition has been. I gotta be honest, I thought it would be a lot harder, being like kind of old. I'm 41, so like whenever my iPhone gets updated, or when this thing gets updated and the visuals change too much, I start yelling at clouds, and I'm like, why did they have to change it? It was perfect before. But I gotta say, this is really cool. It's fluid. I'm a big advocate for whatever machine or whatever program, software, whatever you find that makes the transition, or the friction, that's the word I'm looking for, between having an idea and actually making that idea happen, or just letting loose your creativity. I'm all in favor for those machines or softwares that make that friction be as less as possible. And I'm really liking this. This is very impressive. I don't know, it's kind of more inviting now. Of course, I'm gonna have to really dig into this. I'm having surgery on Monday, 2 days from now, so I'm gonna have about like 3 months to really dig into MPC3. Anyway, it's about 3 a.m., so I think I'm gonna call it for now. Very excited to start working with this, hopefully later on with 2 hands. As always, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you found this video useful, or at least entertaining. Have a great week, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.